Hello, Shaggers, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again for the greatest podcast this side of the Mississippi. It is the ALP1 podcast brought to you live in Sidonia Muse's basement. I am totally not chained up to his radiator. I am the ever mentioned Brazilian terrorist, Golden Sniper, back into the hot seat, and of course my captor, the man who is leading Alpine to a lovely World Constructors Championship. And the man who's definitely holding a gun to my head is Mr. Sardonia Muse. So how are you doing today, mate?
I'm doing great, man. We forgot the podcast today. It's not the LP1 podcast. It's the Muse Eats While Golden Waffles podcast. That's
Shit, I
actually what
forgot
it's
we had a
called.
rebranding. Um,
But yeah, we're going for a rebrand. But
yep,
nah,
love
man.
that.
Looking forward to doing these Monaco ratings. Little disclaimer before we begin. So there were 13 drivers last night, or a couple nights ago when we did the Monaco race, and but we're only going to be rating 12 because myself was experiencing literally the worst lag slash internet issues I've ever experienced while league racing. Like, it was literally undrivable. Kicked me twice during quali, so I was only able to even get one lap in. And the lap I did get in was pretty good, but yeah, only able to get one lap in, and then the race, uh, just yeah, terrible lag all over the place until the lag, like I said, literally flipped my car, did a barrel roll, in the air. And at that point, I was like, okay, yeah, this is undrivable. Yeah, I gotta retire. This is undrivable. So yeah, unfortunate. Was feeling pretty good for Monaco, but I wasn't really able to do anything. So we've decided to just invalidate my rating for this race. You know, if if the qualifying, if there was still something to go off of with the qualifying, maybe would have given me a rating. But
Mm.
I don't even want to give myself a rating for this because it was just, yeah, there's nothing really to go off of. It was all just bullshit internet issues. Similar to, like, if a driver, like, let's say Carlos Sainz at Austria this season, where his car, he just could not drive the car like the whole weekend basically on the Saturday and the Sunday. So kind of along the lines of that. But anyway, the other 12 drivers though, Golden. Let's uh let's get into this. This was an intense race. Like I said, there was, if you discount me, we'll pretend we'll only reference me if it's something that actually affected someone's race, such as Caleb. We'll reference that,
Mm.
or maybe queso or orange or something. We might reference it there, but for all intents and purposes, there were 12 drivers who did the race, and only 7 finished. So there were a lot of DNFs, as per the usual at Monaco. And we're going to start off with a brand new driver in NACS. It was his first league race with us, and his goes by the tag of Hollywood. So unfortunately, he qualified at the very back in 13th, and he did not finish the race. So unfortunately for myself, I have gone for a 2 for Mr. Hollywood, because unfortunately he couldn't really do anything, and it was Monaco. It was his first league race. You could argue an even lower rating than a 2, but I've gone with a 2 because it was his first league race, and it was Monaco. And yeah, but he's been doing a lot of grinding for Australia though, for this Thursday, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to pull off at Australia, because I feel like he'll have, if he survives that race, I feel like he'll have a much better rating, way better rating than this 2 I've given him here for Monaco.
Mm. Yeah, I've also gone for a two. Um, Again, first league race does sweat a little bit because it is a very tricky track. Um, but yeah, like you said, couldn't really do much. DNFing, qualifying, dead last. Then again, sources have told me from the garage, or the entourage, I should say, from Mr. Hollywood, that he actually turned off some of his assists, so he wasn't driving with training wheels anymore. Um, just really hope Australia does a really good job for him though. But yeah, I feel like a two is fair enough.
Yep, so 2s across the board for Hollywood. Next, we move on to Kilo, aka Rabbit Mort, aka Alex,
Oh my god.
the sole Racing Bulls driver who might be getting a promotion to Red Bull
Wink, wink.
after Australia. We'll see. Wink, wink. He qualified 10th, so I believe he only outqualified Orange, Sling, and Hollywood, obviously.
Hmm.
And he did not finish the race. I think for a lot of that race, I think he was running in like 8th or 9th or whatever, I think. Um, but yeah, I've personally gone with a free for Mr. Alex.
Hmm.
Because the qualifying was not really good. I've seen what he can do in the past, and the fact that he only outqualified like Sling and Orange, I don't know. I think from what we see, I mean, even earlier this season, what we saw with him at Abu Dhabi and Spa, I feel like he could have qualified a little better. And then in the race, didn't finish. So, yeah, I've gone with a free out of 10 for Alex. I know he can do way better. I know it was Monaco, and he wasn't looking forward to it anyway, but he'll do better at other tracks than that. So I've given him a free.
Yeah, 3 is perfectly fine for me as well. Again, poor qualifying and didn't wasn't able to stick it in the race, unfortunately. Again, a DNF from someone who could do really well on his day, and just a really, it's just a weekend to forget really for him.
Yeah, pretty much. That's really what it is at the end of the day. But moving on to the two Williams drivers, the new Williams pairing, because Kogo Jr. has moved from Aston Martin to Williams. So it's now Kogo Jr. with Orange in the Williams. So starting off with Orange, who last time out he got his first points at Texas, but there was a controversial rating.
No, perfectly fine. Shut up. I
But
still stand by it.
Mr. Orange qualified 11th, and he finished the race in 6th, just behind his teammate Kogo Jr. Now, some context. Orange was one of the drivers who was severely affected by the lag
The lag.
because when the lag happened at the end of Sector 1 and I got pushed forward by Queso, I got nudged a little bit by Queso because I guess he wasn't ready for the lag. It nudged me into Orange, which definitely affected his race. Plus, he was having to get out of the way for some lapped. He was having to sacrifice some time as well because he was getting lapped by, I believe, Kogo and Pete, who were the race leaders. So there were some issues there that all cost you a lot of time against your competitors that are around the same level as you, like Slingshot. Like him and Slingshot have been back and forth a lot these past couple of races, but he ended up finishing the race ahead of Sling, right there with his teammate. He finished in 6th. Like that's great points. Double points finish for Williams, 5th and 6th. We'll
Hmm.
get to Caleb in a second. So just like last time out, I've once again gone with an 8 for Mr. Orange, especially since it's around Monaco and he finished. And there's a lot of way more seasoned drivers that we'll get to later who did not finish this race. So for Orange to come in and finish in P6, I think needs to be appreciated. So I've gone with another 8 out of 10 for Orange.
Not bad. Next driver.
So what have you gone for Orange?
I don't. Do I have? Do I have a? No, I don't seem to have a. Yeah, next driver will. Ah.
Spit it out, motherfucker. It better not be another
Alrighty,
5.
so
If it's a
you
5,
see,
up it to a fucking 6 right now. Because that's ridiculous. You're tanking his average, bro.
what do
What
you
are you
mean by that?
expecting of him? He's not fucking Kogo. He's not Kogo, bro. What did you give him?
Okay. So, some people would say, I'm not naming names, that pitchforks would have been thrown at my house last week. There was some choice words from one Mr. Orange Nut Juice, which is a very weird name in my, I might say, but we move. That the rating was a bit harsh. So I've taken this into I haven't taken it into management. I didn't give a shit. I've looked at it from a slightly different perspective. Pitchforks is yet again going to be thrown at my house because I've stuck with my guns, and I've taken his rating from last week and slapped it here. So I've also given him a 6 because
The what?
I gave him a 6 again.
Explain.
Well, yes, he's not like Kogo Pete, but qualifying was dire. I know he's not the fastest guy there, and I know it's Monaco, but yeah, qualifying for him was not the best. The race though was a massive improvement. But again, quality is just what really let him down. If he qualified a little bit better, I would have possibly snatched a 7, but I just feel 6 is
Still
in my
outqualified
mind.
his rival. Still outqualified Slingshot. That's his rival right now. In terms of the
I don't
standings,
want to throw
anyway.
shade at Sling because, yeah. So, yeah, I'm sick of my guns and you can't change my mind.
Alright, so he got P6 and you gave him a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so once again, Orange's statement about he would have to win a race for Golden to give him anything higher than a
Oh,
fucking
no, no, no,
7
no, 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 no. Shut the fuck up.
is still ringing true.
No, wrong.
I mean, okay, it's 2 weeks in a row we're gonna disagree on Orange. I guess it is
Uh-huh.
what it is. Golden's being really harsh on Orange for some
No,
reason.
no, no. He threatened my parents. I'm kidding.
Orange thinks Golden thinks that Orange is like a god or something. Like he's fucking supposed to be up there in the front row with
No, 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 no.
Kogo.
Other way around, man. Other way around.
But yeah, can't wait to hear the reaction this time. And then the other Williams driver, Kogo Jr., who it looked like was gonna qualify on the front row. It really did. It looked like it was gonna be earlier in the qualifying. It was gonna be him and his dad, but I think he choked his last lap. I think.
Massive
But
choke.
regardless, yeah. So he qualified fifth. Um, but then he finished the race in fifth after, like I said, Sidonian Muse lag issues.
Love
He
that.
te teleported right off the racing line, teleported right into the back of him, smashed the back of him. Like could have ruined his race right there. But he fixed the damage, and got right back in the hunt. And like I said, still ended up finishing ahead of his teammate. Got a top 5 out of it. Like I said, like he was dead last at one point in the race, and he came back through, finished a race that, like I said, his dad didn't finish. We'll get to Kogo later. Like his dad didn't finish the
You're my
race,
dad. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
and but Caleb finished the race even with all that damage that he got.
Mm,
So and got a top 5. So I've also gone just like with his teammate. I've also gone with an 8 out of 10 for Caleb. I can't give him any higher than an 8 though, just because I feel like there was more that he could have done in the qualifying. I feel
mm,
like he could have outqualified Pete. He could have outqualified um, you and Dan.
mm,
I think he definitely could have qualified on the front row. So I think there was a
mm,
lot left on the table in quali. So I've gone with an 8
mm.
for K.
Point. Good points overall. I've personally gone for a little bit. I think I'm a good cop, bad cop here. I think I'm the shithead. I've personally gone for a 7. I just thought there was a lot more, like you said, in quality he could have done. Definitely should have been out qualified by some of the people in front of him. And then the race, yes, he finished where he was, but I feel like if he wasn't affected by that lag, which of course wasn't his fault at all entirely, he could have put a little bit more, I guess, on the table. But that's a what if in itself. But yeah, I reckon a 7 is still decent enough for this weekend for Mr. Caleb, or Caleb, I should say.
Hmm. So 8 and 7 for K.
Mm.
Cool. Now we're on to the two Mercedes drivers who were both there, Dan and Queso.
Oh boy.
Starting off with Queso, who I don't know if you saw, who did get penalized for the incidents with you.
I did see that. There
So,
was champagne in my living room.
so, so he did get penalized for incidents in the race. So I've taken that into account with my rating as well.
Mm.
So Queso qualified eighth. Um, was running, I think around sixth ish,
Seventh,
sixth,
six,
seventh,
eh,
seventh,
6, 7.
sixth,
Around,
seventh
oh god.
for most of the race, and
Mm.
then he did not finish. Mostly I think it was due to all the banging
He
with
banged
you. I
my car
think
from every corner, every hole.
yeah, so I think that ended up hurting himself more in the end. I think that's why he retired. I think it was because of that stuff, but regardless, qualified eighth in DNF. I've gone with a free for Queso. He, like I said, he was running decent in the race. So like if he hadn't caused as much shit as he did, I probably would have given him a 4.
Mm.
But because he caused all that shit, which again only hurts himself in the long run because now he has penalty points on his record, and he didn't get any points to show from it. So I've gone with a free out of 10, especially with how good Dan did
Mm.
with a teammate head to head. It's like, yeah, I gotta
Mm.
be harsh. So I've gone with a free out of 10 for Queso with this one.
Mm. See, I've gone a bit different from you again. I've actually gone. I don't know why my ratings fluctuate so hard. I've gone for a 4, to be honest. I can't really say much, to be honest. He did DNF during the race. Quali for him was pretty decent. He was doing pretty good in the race, and then just that happened with lap 29 with someone who shall not be named. So yeah, short and sweet 4.
Yeah. Otherwise, maybe it would have been a little higher. But
Mm.
yeah, 3 and
Didn't
4.
fuck up my wing.
And then his teammate, Mr. Dan.
The main accomplice of
Mr.
all this
Dan.
shit.
Yep, he qualified third behind Pete and Kogo.
Mm.
And then he finished the race on the podium in third behind Pete and yours truly, Golden Sniper.
Solid
So
blazing.
so I think this has definitely been Dan's best race of the season so far. I've gone with a 9 out of 10 for Dan.
Mm.
Finished exactly where he qualified at Monaco. Barely put a foot wrong. Might have been like a little. Again, I didn't see everything because I couldn't even on my end, like I said, I couldn't even get in to like spectate the race and actually see what was going on. But um, he was the more clean, definitely the more clean of the Mercedes duo this week, and got his first podium of the season. So I'm gonna reward Dan heavily for that with a 9 out of 10.
Mm. 9 seems all good. It's tough. I've personally gone for an 8. Now he did get a podium and he did finish where he finished. But there is one thing Mr. Sardonis you're heavily, I think, forgetting about, slightly, maybe, sort of. The abundance of time penalties he got during the race really cost him that P2. Um, I think in the end it was 9 seconds compared to the drivers around him, which ultimately shot himself in the foot. So I've knocked him down maybe a little bit harsher than that, but at the end of the day, a podium's still a podium for Mr. Daniel. He's going to be very proud of that regardless of what rating I give him, so I reckon an 8's pretty nifty for him.
Yeah, 8's still good. I did forget about the time penalty
Mm.
situation, but no, I'm still gonna hold on to my 9. But
Mm.
8 is also fair. It's
Mm.
definitely an 8 or a 9 situation for sure for Dan. So moving on to the singular Red Bull driver, vodka victory, qualified sixth. We let him off with the game was trying to give him a grid drop for something that was stupid, not in his control at all. So we let him off with that one. So he qualified sixth. but he did not finish, unfortunately. I've gone straight down the middle for Vad. I've gone with a 5
Mm,
because that qualifying was actually pretty decent from him. Qualifying, he out-qualified a lot of people that a lot of times he wouldn't out-qualify, I think. Um, P6 from him at Monaco is actually pretty good. But I've gone straight down the middle with a 5. I can't give him any higher than a 5 because, like I said, if we were judging his no assist drive that he did the following Saturday,
mm,
it would be like an 8 out of 10.
mm,
If he had finished the race and done like a because if he had finished, if he had kept it together, like he probably would have got an actual like pretty good result for Red Bull. He probably would have got like
mm,
a top 5.
mm,
So for him to not finish is kind of a big choke on his part. So that's why I've gone down the middle with a 5.
mm. Yeah, five's what I gave him as well. Quali was pretty good, like you said, and then just yeah, race like many people this week is just really one to forget for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. It's just for Vodka's just to move on to the next one situation, I guess.
Mhm.
Move on to Australia. Now on to the three big teams from
Again,
last season, minus one because like I said, I'm not getting a rating
boo.
for this race.
Give him a 1.
But start off with Slingshot in the Ferrari. Qualified 12th, so the only person he out qualified was Hollywood,
Mm,
who was brand new. So he did get out qualified by, like I said, Orange. So Sling qualified 12th. And he finished 7th, so he finished the race, but he was last of the people who finished. So I've gone with a 7 for Sling
mm,
because I feel like it was still a good week for him. Like 7th at Monaco is still great points for the team in their constructor battle. Right now they're kind of fighting for third. Ferrari are fighting Williams for third right now.
mm,
So for him to at least finish the race, I think at Monaco is still worthy of a 7.
mm.
Um, especially since it's Sling. Like he'll say to himself like he knows he's like one of the slower people on the grid. Like you can't expect the guy to be getting fucking podiums. Like yeah, he did last season. That's because literally everyone
Died.
fucking died.
Lol.
Yeah, so like for him to, I want to reward him for at least finishing the race. Didn't get into any shit with anyone. Um, but I can't give him higher than a 7 because he lost to the two Williams drivers. If he had finished ahead of the two Williams drivers, if he had gotten a top 5, we're looking at a completely different rating for Sling.
We may be looking at a funny
Because
little double-digit number.
yeah, because Orange and K both had a bunch of shit go wrong for them in that race. Like realistically, Sling should have beaten the two Williams.
The two Willies are
Realistically,
going hard.
with all the shit that went wrong for the Williams, but the Williams still finished ahead of him. So I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. So that's why again I've gone with a 7 for Sling.
Mm. I originally was going to give him a 6, but hearing some last-minute words in my ear that were so sensual it made me change my mind. I've also gone for a 7, purely because of what you've just spatted at my face. Um, for
Oh,
him to
cool! It is like
finish,
a Matt and Tommy situation.
totally. What's it called?
You've convinced me.
You convinced me. Yep. Uh, yep. Finishing a race is definitely a massive. It's definitely one of his better drives of the season, I'd say, and definitely a massive improvement from last week. Um, yes, the pace again wasn't there in quali, but like a true man once said about one golden sniper himself, and I feel like this is sort of also his sling. His quali pace may not be there, but his race pace shows, and that's what we saw with Sling today. So I reckon a 7 is more than lovely.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Hmm.
But now onto his teammate, Pete the Newfie, who slapped it on the front row, second with Kogo. Because I mean, I don't think anyone was beating Kogo's time anyway. So for Pete to get P2 is kind of like as best as he could have gotten in quali, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Qualified P2, was there with Kogo for most of the race, just there, like, a second behind him, 2 seconds behind him. putting the pressure on, and then Kogo crashed out. Kogo choked, and DNF with like 5 laps to go, and
Boo.
Pete ended up. And keep in mind, him and Pete were like gone. Like they were way far ahead of everyone else. They were on a completely different level.
Yes.
This weekend. So, like I said, he qualified second, and then he won the fucking race. Possibly one of, if not his best drive in a league race he's ever done.
Mm.
I think he even said that himself. He's had a lot of good drives in his league race career, but because it's at Monaco, and like I said, it's his first win with Ferrari, because he's on Ferrari this season. This is his first win with Ferrari. It's his first win since Vegas of last season, which was in the middle of last season, so it's actually been quite a while since Pete's won a race.
Mm.
Considering how good he is. So he's finally back up on top at Monaco. His first time ever winning a league race at Monaco. So I mean, it's an easy 10 out of 10. Like what can you say?
Mm. Yeah.
Like we're not doing 11s. We're not doing 11s. So like I got 10's the highest I can give him. So I'm giving him 10.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, what can you put for that, man? Just 10s all around, front row, slap it on there, why not? Race, you know what? I know we're not doing it. I'm giving him a 12. Fuck the 10. I'm giving him a 12 purely for the mind games and shit haisery he pulled off for Kogo. The mind games were elite. Elite. I heard him down going, oh, good race, Kogo. Bang, wall, gone. 10, 12. 12. That's it. I'm sorry. He's getting a fucking 12.
Yeah, those mind games were elite.
Mm.
That's Kogo's fault for not racing with him enough, I guess, because if he had raced with him as much as I have, I've seen those same mind games
Yep.
20 times over. That wouldn't have worked on. I think I'm the only person. Me or Great Ace. I think me or Great Ace probably would have been like the only two people that shit wouldn't have worked on.
Hello?
So it worked on
I'm kidding.
but it worked on Kogo. It
Surprisingly.
got him. It got him. He got his. The timing was also just perfect. It was just perfectly timed. It was like one of those perfect moments that just you can't replicate. So yeah, that's a perfect drive from Pete. 10 out of 10. What can you
Yep.
say?
Yep.
Good on him.
Mm-hmm.
Another new race winner this season.
Whoa.
Hopefully we'll see. At least 2 or 3 more race winners. I think because I think you, Dan, and Great Ace could all still win races this season, from what I've seen. So
Can we swap you for me though?
we'll see.
Like.
So we'll see.
God.
Well, I've already won a race, so like.
Fuck, you're right.
Your
Yeah,
turn.
no. Forgot about Canada. Fuck, my bad. Double race win.
It's your.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let you
So
pass on the last lap. Yeah. Fucking better get
we
a
got
good
3
commission from
drivers
that.
left. We're almost through. We got 3 drivers left. The 2 McLarens. We got Great Ace, qualified 9th. Not a great qualifying as far as he's concerned. I kind of have like decently high expectations of Great Ace, especially in the assists. So qualified 9th, but he did finish in 4th.
Whoa.
Like he almost got onto the podium, but unfortunately for him, you and Dan were just on a different level, I guess.
Finger point to the head.
Yeah. So 4th, I guess, was as high as he was gonna get in the race, and he got 4th. I've personally gone with a 7 for Ace. It would be an 8 if it weren't for the qualifying. I feel like I take a point off for the qualifying, so that's why I've gone with a 7. Pretty self-explanatory. Just a solid, great recovery drive from Great Ace at Monaco. Especially when his teammate didn't finish, to still keep McLaren ahead in the constructors, because otherwise we'd be ahead of them in the constructors right now if Great Ace hadn't finished, you know. So, yeah. So like that, Great Ace did exactly what he had to do when his teammate wasn't there to get points. He, just like you did, you and him both stuck it out for McLaren and Alpine. So I'm still gonna give him a good grade. I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yeah, I reckon 7's nice. I also gave him a 7. Quali again wasn't the best like some of the other more seasoned drivers this weekend, but like you said, a great recovery from him to even get actually to even finish the fucking race. So, and to be that high up, if I reckon if the safety car had stayed out one more lap, he would have definitely been in contention for the podium itself. But unfortunately, that's not the way this fucking race goes. And yeah, but I reckon a 7 would be I reckon I'll take that. I reckon I'll take a 7 for this weekend.
Yeah, it was just such a late it was such a late safety car that
Mm,
people didn't have time to catch up before it came in.
mm-hmm.
So now, sorry, just clearing my throat as we're going into Kogo, who slapped it on pole with an insane qualifying time, probably the most impressive qualifying time of the season so far,
Mm.
in my opinion. But he did not finish. He got outplayed.
You got
He
Pete
threw a
mind
win
games.
away. It's Monaco. It's not like Pete can overtake him at that point. There's only a couple laps left of the race. Like Pete literally, it's Monaco. Pete literally can't overtake him. So all he had to do was just survive and win the race, and we'd be giving him, we'd be giving him another 10 like we did last week at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But he crashed. He threw 25 points. That's a lot of points. He threw
Big.
away 25 points in the draw. Now, fortunately for him, everything went wrong for me as well, and I was the person who was closest to him in the driver. So it's not like he really lost anything.
Mm,
He didn't lose anything, but he didn't gain anything either because he lost points to Pete, but he didn't really lose points to me.
mm.
So he still has a one race lead in the drivers. Like he hasn't technically lost too much. So I've given Kogo a 7, same as his teammate, just because the qualifying was that impressive. And for most of the race, like I said, he was just on a different level. Other than Pete, Pete was like the only one who could really keep up with him.
Mm.
So I've given him a 7 just because his pace was still there. He still drove a great race. It's just he threw it away at the end. So what would have been a 10 is now only a 7 for Kogo. I will say I did debate a 6 though. If you gone with a 6, I did debate a 6.
Mm. No, I also went for a 7. Quality was just out of this
Okay.
world. Would have been a 10 as well. If it was just a quality, that's a fucking 10 any day of the week. Race, I was actually debating an 8. Surprisingly, but with that DNF and just getting caught out by I'm gonna say this right now. Pete should open a fucking book called Monaco Mind Games by Pete the Newfie and have that as the front cover, and that would be immaculate. Um, but yeah, caught out just at the end in crunch time, clutch time. Needs a 3 to hit the fucking buzzer. You've led by fucking 10 points since the fourth quarter, and you've just choked like the Golden State Warriors. So
Yeah.
that's a 7, unfortunately.
Isn't it also a funny coincidence too that like the real life Monaco race win was between a McLaren and a Ferrari, and this time it was also between a McLaren and a Ferrari.
Thanks.
And but it's yeah, it should have been another win for Kogo, but hey, we're not going to complain. Makes things more interesting in the standings.
Yep.
So it is what it is. And then finally, the pièce de résistance, the
No
French
need.
Alpine driver,
No need for I'm not
Golden
French, you fucking
Sniper.
cunt.
Golden Sniper
Whoa.
at Monaco. Statistically, his best track in
Surprisingly.
NACS,
Surprisingly.
where you
Looks
got
like.
your first race win last season.
Uh huh.
You qualified fourth, um, which is still really good. Slapping it on the second row, only getting out qualified by a crackhead, um,
Pete,
a
the mind games
Pete who
master,
just
and a
yeah who
Brit.
just and the quality merchant, yeah. So
The Brit was more tame. Okay, you didn't need to go that fucking far.
still a really good quality.
Mm.
And then you finished P2, your highest finishing position of the season so far.
Mhm.
P2 at Monaco, which is fucking amazing. That's still great. And your consistency is what helped you get the P2 over Dan. And your race was almost ruined by Dan's teammate, You had all that damage as well that you got to keep in
Damage.
mind. So for you to still finish ahead of Dan is great. So I've gone with a 9 out of 10
Mm,
for you. Only reason it can't be a 10 is because the times, if you ignore Kogo's time in the qualifying, everyone else in that second to like I think fifth or sixth range was really close.
mm,
So I feel like front row actually would have been. I feel like you could have gotten front row
mm,
over Pete and Dan.
mm,
I think it was possible.
mm,
So I've gone with a 9 out of 10 because if you had out qualified them, you might have won the fucking race.
mm.
You never know.
We'll get onto that a
You
little bit
never
later.
know
Um,
with pit stops, but I've gone with a 9 out of 10. Um, if you've given yourself a 10, I mean I don't blame you, but I've gone with a 9.
mm, um, I don't know how to describe myself. Quality, probably. I don't know if that's my highest quality position this entire season, to be honest. Um, it might be, unless it's tied. I don't know what I got in Canada. Um, I'll have to look at that again. But yeah, quality just felt nice. It felt smooth. I think I bottled my last lap, but I didn't really give a shit anyway. I was surprisingly that high up in the grid. The race actually went surprisingly good for some parts of it. I do have to give myself a little bit of credit for pissing Dan off so much with my unique ability to defend the corners, just going slow, costing him so much time. To the point he had to unleash what I call the bull. I guess he saw me driving for Ferrari last season, saw the red in his eyes, and decided to whack me into the fucking wall. Fun. Uh, so, but then there was some not so good moments. Obviously, the time penalty thing. I got 3 seconds. And to be honest, I think I really cost myself the at least a chance to really stick it on P2 itself. Um, I don't know if it was the right call. Like, personally, I don't think me going in that last pit stop was the right call. I feel like I fucked it and I had to push myself even more. I felt like I could push the hards towards the end because the
Hmm.
softs were a bit shit towards the end on my stint. I reckon if I'd
So
stayed
what have you
out on.
gone with?
Enough waffling, sorry. I've gone for a 7 purely because. Purely, and there's two main factors here. One, um, the time penalty thing was a little bit, but the main thing is I feel like I could have thrown myself, like I threw away a chance to get the win outright with pitting. I just felt like it was the wrong decision to make at a very like pressure intense time, and I reckon I could have slapped those hards towards the end, maybe for Pete, but yeah, 7.
A 7 for a P2 is wild.
Mhm. Keep in
Oh
mind,
my god.
who did I rate? I rated fucking Dan higher than me, and he got P3. So
Yeah, that's very strange.
yeah, uh, what can
Man's
you do?
man's very tough on himself, I guess.
Mm,
But yeah, so you gave yourself a 7, I gave you a 9. But yeah, you've definitely been the biggest surprise of the season. I mean, me and Pete were actually talking about that. We both agree that you're the biggest surprise of the season so far. In terms of like a difference from last year's game to this game.
mm.
So, golden sniper stocks are rising.
Do I get a fucking participation trophy for that? Well, then I don't
Yeah, you
fucking
get a
give a
cookie.
shit.
You get a cookie like everyone who posts their fucking lap times in the Discord server.
No, mate, I don't fucking do that. I think I'm not Amy or Dean.
Nah. Yeah, I think it must just be a British thing. They gotta
uh,
see they gotta invade the world. They gotta it's the fucking supremacy, man. The British supremacy, bro.
yep.
Shocking, shocking. Oh my. Anyways, that's the driver ratings done for Monaco.
You didn't say it right.
Um, that's the NACS driver ratings. for the Monaco Grand Prix.
There we go.
That's them done.
Yep.
Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too. I didn't find it too hard to do this time.
Mm.
Thought it was
Apart from telling me to shut
a
up
lot of them.
twice.
A lot of them pretty straightforward. We agreed on most of them.
Yep.
Once again, orange definitely being the biggest controversy. Controversy.
Controversy.
Yeah.
I reckon that's it.
So
That should be my shtick. I have to lowball orange the rest of the season. Just really grind his
clearly.
gears.
Mhm. Grinds gears until he comes out of nowhere and wins like fucking Baku.
Mate, if he fucking does that, I'll post a photo of myself bollock naked sipping a CC. I'm saying that right now. If he wins a race in either one, I will post a photo in the server of me literally naked sipping a CC, and you can say this right now. You can.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
Yep.
You heard it here,
Like
folks.
Gary
That's
Lineker on Match of the Day if Leicester would win the Premier League. I will post a photo. You heard this here right now.
Take a receipt of that. Hold him accountable for that. For when he
No.
comes out of nowhere.
Hold me
Facts,
accountable.
though.
Cap.
But yeah, it was good, Golden. Next time we'll be doing ratings after race 6, which is at Australia, your home race.
The land down under.
Yeah, you got a podium there last. Well, we had a double Ferrari podium there last season.
Mhm.
So we're both. I think we're both pretty good at Australia. So it'll be interesting to see what we can pull off there, and hopefully the internet won't be a piece of shit like it was for Monaco. That'd be great. Anyways, guys, it's been long enough. We're gonna end this off here now.
Mhm.
I'm your host. I don't need Muse. Thanks for joining me and Golden for another episode of the ALP1 podcast, and we'll see you guys next time for the Australian Grand Prix.
Now, can you please get me out of the fucking radiator? Toodaloo, motherfuckers. And this podcast was sponsored by KFC, Will's choice of food, the entire podcast. So, thank you, KFC, making Will lick his fingers even more than he licked his fingers when I won Monaco last season. Bye, bitches.